40% of jobs worldwide are at risk from artificial intelligence. That's the IMF talking, and the group most exposed isn't factory workers, blue-collar people, it's knowledge workers, white-collar professionals, accountants, auditors, lawyers, consultants, middle managers. PwC published some data recently showing that up to 50% of compliance tasks in accounting can already be handled by the current AI provision. That's not in the future, that's now. So there's some great things going on in the advisory space. A lot of people running wonderful communities. It is a transition, I get that, but you've got to upskill, you've got to adapt, you've got to stay ahead of this. So here's the hard question. If 50% of the work you build today can be automated tomorrow, 40% of jobs worldwide are at risk from artificial intelligence. That's the IMF talking, not me. And the group most exposed isn't factory workers, blue-collar people, it's knowledge workers, white-collar professionals, accountants, auditors, lawyers, consultants, middle managers. So here's the hard question. If 50% of the work you build today can be automated tomorrow, what is left of your accounting career? Welcome to Accounting Influencers. I'm Rob Brown. This is where ambitious accountants get the foresight and the playbook to survive and thrive in a profession that is being reshaped by AI, by private equity, and relentless consolidation. A lot of change going on. My role here is simple. I'm your guide. I'm here to tell you what's coming, show you why it matters, give you the strategies to stay relevant. When irrelevance equals unemployment. So you've got to stay informed, you've got to be in the know, you've got to apply it to your everyday situation. So you're not reactive, you are proactive. And this is the first in a 6-part series. I'm calling it From Compliance to Counsel. And it's, if you like, the accountant's survival guide in the AI age, in the M&A age. And across these episodes, I'm going to walk you through the shift from that backward-looking compliance role to that forward-focused advisory. You can see a lot about CAS and advisory and the need to be more proactive and consultative with your clients. And I'm sure you're already on with that. But here's the roadmap of where we're going over the next 6 episodes. So this is number 1 in the series, and this is the threat. Why compliance is collapsing. It's not going to disappear. A lot of firms still make a lot of money from compliance, but it's been eroded, downward pressure on fees. So we'll focus on the threat in episode 1. Episode 2 is the demand, what clients really want from their accountants right now. Episode 3 is the mindset, the skills, the thinking you need to start acting and serving like an advisor. Episode 4, we're going to look at the playbook, very practically how to make the actual shift from that compliance-based historical accountant and bookkeeper to that more forward-thinking professional. Episode 5 is going to be the ally, if you like, the tech that can power your shift. Instead of replacing you, how you harness the right kind of technology to make that transition. And episode 6 is going to be the finale, topic very much in my heart. It's your personal brand as the ultimate career insurance. So how do you make sure that when people need something that you do, they come to you first, above and beyond all of the other choices that they've got? So stay with me. We're going to record these next 6 episodes one at a time, and each one is a crucial step in your survival kit from moving from compliance to counsel. So let's get into it today. I am Rob Brown. If I didn't say my name earlier, I've been hosting this show for a number of years. We've got some interesting changes coming up, and you're a very loyal audience. We've got 6,000 subscribers on YouTube now as we speak, and many, many hundreds of thousands of downloads on this show on whatever podcast app you are listening to. So let's get into it today. Compliance under siege. It sounds dramatic, I know. PwC published some data recently showing that up to 50% of compliance tasks in accounting can already be handled by the current AI provision. That's not in the future, that's now. So the bookkeeping, the tax prep, the audit sampling, the reconciliations, whole departments used to be built on that kind of work. A lot of the entry-level jobs were built on that kind of grunt and grind work and serving in the trenches. We just finished a series on the threats to the different levels in accounting firms, from the entry level to the middle managers to the partners and beyond. So check that out if you've not seen it before. And what we're seeing now is that software can do what you have been doing in the past faster, cheaper, and without mistakes. So you might call it the automation tsunami, the AI tsunami, but what's clear is it's swallowing up low and mid-level work that accountants would build careers on a lot of good fees on. And the result, fee compression, Clients are seeing compliance as a commodity. They don't necessarily want it. They know they have to have it, but they won't pay for it what they used to pay for it. And they will shop around for the cheapest option because they don't perceive it as value anymore. And when your work becomes a commodity, the work becomes disposable, and then you become disposable. And I don't want that to happen for you. And this is not a theory. This isn't me dramatizing right here. Wall Street Journal recently reported that in the past 3 years, the US accounting profession has lost 340,000 accountants and auditors. Now, other countries are available, but obviously America is a big community of accountants. And that's not just a drip, that's an exodus, isn't it? So where are these accountants going? That's an interesting question. Why are they going? Why are they leaving? Are they being forced out? Are they making that voluntary decision to get out of accounting? We hear a lot about busy season and workload and mental well-being. A big part of this is that much of what accountants are doing is in compliance-heavy roles. And there is a sense of burnout, people walking away, people being replaced, being more and more irrelevant. And I know we're on the Accounting Influencers podcast, but this is not just accounting. I like to take a look at what's happening in adjacent sectors. Goldman Sachs cut more than 3,000 of its staff last year. Accenture cut 19,000 staff. You've seen in the news Meta, Amazon, Microsoft slashing tens of thousands of roles. You can see the stuff in the big four accounting firms. They're just shedding staff right now. And these are all well-paid professionals, really strong resumes. But this middle management is shrinking. And the technically competent but invisible professionals, they're the easiest to cut when the pressure comes. And again, I don't want that to be you. You need to rise above that and make sure that you are employable, promotable, and you have career capital in the world that's coming up. So accounting is going to be next. Consulting, we know. These white-collar workers, the knowledge workers, accounting is in the firing line. Private equity are pouring money into buying up accounting practices. And guess what? Every time that happens, the first thing a PE house wants to do is cut costs. Layers of management stripped out. Inefficient roles are stripped out. Support roles tend to be vanishing. Compliance-heavy teams are shrinking. And if you are invisible in that environment, you are vulnerable. And that's why I'm making this series, because I don't want you to be caught out by this. The blunt truth is that technical skills alone are no longer enough. Technical skills plus technological skills plus a personal brand and career capital and influence and a strong network and the soft skills, that's going to be what's going to keep you in the game. Competence is not protection. Like I said earlier, irrelevance equals unemployment. That's my soundbite for this day and age. There is hope, and it lies in the ability to advise your clients. It lies in your visibility. It lies in your authority and your reputation. So I'm going to give you a few things to start doing right now to put yourself on the survival path and get ahead of this wave or tsunami or whatever we call it. So number one, audit your workload. Ask yourself really honestly, nobody else is probably going to do this for you. You certainly don't want this decision made for you, but know as soon as you can what percentage of your time is compliance. Because the follow-up question is what percentage of that compliance stuff could be automated? And you've got to be really honest about that. That signposts your vulnerability because you know what's coming. That's number one, audit your workload. Number two, count your client conversations. How often are you in touch with clients? What conversations are you having? Because this is something that ChatGPT and the AI interfaces will not do. The relationship stuff, keeping close to clients, finding out about their problems, not even just their business stuff, but their personal stuff. This is what keeps you close. Those moments of truth, those touch points. So count your client conversations. How many are about the past and how many are about the future? That's another great indication of whether you are an advisor or merely a deliverer of reports. Clients are paying for and valuing foresight, not history. And so you've got to be ahead of that. That's number two. Count your client conversations and focus on within those conversations, whether it's the past or the future. There'll be a little bit about the present, but you get where I'm going. Number three, learn one advisory skill this quarter. What do I mean by advisory skills? You can Google that. There's some great things going on in the advisory space. A lot of people running wonderful communities and offering coaching and mentoring. It is a transition, I get that, but you've got to upskill. You've got to adapt. You've got to stay ahead of this. It might be cash flow forecasting. It might be scenario planning. It might be pricing strategy. It might be opening up new markets. It could be ESG or other hot things that are going on right now. You've got to pick one and get going. You've got to get knowledgeable on it. You've got no excuse for not being knowledgeable these days and learning things very quickly. You can chat GPT and find out a graduate level understanding of something within a very short period of time, at least enough to get you beyond where your clients are thinking. So that's number 3, learn one advisory skill in the run up the rest of this year or this quarter. Number 4, adapt one new tech tool this month. Technology is at the heart of this, isn't it? So don't let technology get ahead of you. Don't wait for your firm to hand a new piece of technology or software, a platform or app to you. Take the initiative. You should be well ahead of scoping what's out there, talking to your peers on other discussion groups and communities. You're going to conferences and events. Firms buy technology quite slow. They implement it slow. You can be very agile, is the word I was looking for, to get ahead of this. So learn one new tech tool this month. That's number 4. Number 5, make yourself visible. I talk about this a lot. Share one forward-looking insight with a client or your team every week. Authority starts with contribution, with putting something into the narrative, maybe even owning the narrative, but commenting publicly or with some insight, some gravitas on what you see is happening and the interpretation of what's happening. It's no good having it in your head. People need to see what's in your head and know that you are somebody that looks ahead. So there's 5 simple things. Audit your workload, count your client conversations and see where they're focused, learn one new advisory skill this quarter, adopt one new tech tool this month, and make yourself more visible. They are the ingredients in the recipe for survival and relevance. And by the way, if you're thinking you need help to be more visible and authoritative, I'm putting together an assessment scorecard right now for accounting types to help them measure how visible and effective they are out there, how relevant they are out there. So look at that. It is coming. But I do have a personal branding interview service where I interview firm owners and key people in firms once a month. And we turn that video into video snippets, thought leadership, opinion pieces, and video content. I know you're not comfortable on video, but in an interview mechanism, it comes out really well because it's personality and it's authentic. So this stuff positions you as a trusted advisor inside your firm with your clients out there in the external environment. If that sounds like what you need or you want to know more about it, just get in touch. So let's wrap up here. Compliance is collapsing. We still need it, but it's probably not going to be done by a human, much of it. AI is automating half of it already. The Wall Street Journal has told us that these accountants are leaving the profession. That's 340,000 in the last 3 years. That's a big chunk. And we know some of them are retiring and moving on because they're at that age, but not all of them. So private equity also is consolidating firms, cutting costs. The big consultancies, the big banks, the big tech companies, they're shedding tens of thousands of white-collar roles. Middle management, knowledge workers disappearing. And the only accounting professionals that are going to survive are those that step forward and become visible advisors. So there you have it. That's episode 1 of this 6-part series, From Compliance to Counsel, the Accountant's Survival Guide in the Age of AI and M&A. In episode 2, next one, we're going to focus on the changing expectations of clients, why they no longer want compliance, but they crave that proactive advice that's going to help them make better decisions and survive in a very rapidly changing world. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this episode with your colleagues and friends. We appreciate that. The more people we reach, the stronger we all become and be better ambassadors for the career of accounting. And if you want more shows from me, check out the Leaders of the Ledger podcast that's coming out soon from the CPA Practice Advisor platform, accounting podcast that I'm co-hosting with Chelsea Summers, that we bring the stories behind the numbers and the brilliant research that they do. It's fabulous stuff. And before we close, a quick thank you to our sponsor for this one, Infinite Ties, led by Deneen Dyer. She's one of the leading voices in driving client advisory services, CAS, in the US. She's got a lot of experience in this area. So if you are based in the US, check out Infinite Ties. Lots of other great people doing that stuff, but Deneen is the one that's leading the charge. We will see you on the next episode. Let me leave you with this. Irrelevance equals unemployment. So advisory, visibility, and authority equals survival. The choice is yours.